on 3 Street in Massachusetts. We are continuing to be in a virtual meeting room for Governor Baker's order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, Mass General Law 30A, Section 20. This meeting will take place virtually via Google Meet or in person for those committee members and attendees choosing to access the matter. Our first agenda item is a call for order, and pursuant to that general law, I'm hereby informing all attendees that a video and audio recording is being made of the meeting. Our next agenda item is the Pledge of Allegiance, and we have a group of students here.
LES Drama.
LES Drama Club.
Yes.
All right, you ready? All right. We're ready? You want me to start?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you all.
You nailed it. Our part of
I know, yeah.
There you go. Our mission statement of Lee Public Schools is to ensure students have opportunities, develop social, civil, and critical thinking skills to thrive in an ever-changing world. With that, we have a roll call, please.
Mr. Robin?
Here.
Ms. French? Here. Ms. Fisher?
Here.
Mr. Langworth?
Here.
Mr. Nichols?
Here.
Ms. Salvin? Here.
Fantastic. Our next order of business is approval of the January 13th, 2026 Lee School Committee meeting minutes. I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to approve the January 13th, 2026 Lee School Committee meeting minutes.
Is there a second?
I was second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No abstentions. Next item on our agenda is public input. Sure.
Individuals are invited to address the committee regarding items on this evening's agenda at this time. Per policy, speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. Issues raised will normally be referred to the administration or a subcommittee of the school committee. Anyone in person? Anyone on Zoom? Google Meet, so sorry.
Come on.
No one? All right, great.
Thank you. Moving on to reports. Our first is student updates.
Great.
Are we live?
For those of you who don't know me, Matt Filio, the technology teacher here, also the Lee Live advisor. Lee Live, we do a school TV show every few weeks from our media studio. It's on the other side of the auditorium. And we also stream band concerts and different basketball games and volleyball games and other school events, the Veterans Day Assembly. Last Tuesday, we went on a field trip to Albany News 10. And Zach Bianco, former Lehigh graduate, former Westfield University graduate, where he did lots of media work, works there. So we connected with Zach. We set up a little trip for Lee Live kids to go over there. And we got a tour and a bunch of other stuff. I have David Carlino and Devin Philly over here to do a lot of the recording and different things. They're going to come here and they're going to talk a little bit about any pictures you see or anything else about the day. Or if you have any questions, they'll be glad to answer.
So yeah, there's a bunch of different pictures here. Like this is in the like kind of set kitchen there where they film a segment every week. All those cameras in there, they move around on their own. There's no people. Not those two. No people control those. There's a control room where they can control them, move them all around the floor. That green screen there is for weather, and that's like the central like recording room. The anchor desk is kind of back there too. And of course, another meteorology one there, showing the weather patterns across the United States. Devin, take over some here.
Where Eva and Savannah are right there, that's where the two anchors sit when they talk, and that little iPad that's in front of them, they can actively change what they're like seeing, like the script, while they're on air. And that's one of the cameras where Logan is, that moves around by itself. That is also around the desk where all of us were in there, and Zach was explaining how different things work, how the cameras move, what the angles are, what the anchors do, and all that stuff. And then that was our giant group picture with their two anchors who do the morning show, and then the 6 o'clock show and the 10 o'clock show. And that was us outside when we left with the little sign outside. It's awesome.
So it was really cool because, we met with a couple of producers for the show, some anchors from the two different groups. It's tough to fit, everybody on one tour, so we did two different things. Went to see, they have two studios there. On the way out, we were getting ready to leave, and the actual director of everything for Fox 23 News 10 saw us. Said, "Hey, come in here," and he brought all the kids into his office, and talked to them for another 20 minutes. But everything from market share to how he makes decisions, and how he hires people, to how they stream different things and different apps they use, and where he thinks the future is going in media. So that part was really cool too. And it was great because having the second van, we drove both our school vans, so we didn't have to pay for a bus, so that saved us some money. Brenda and I drove a van each, so that was great. Brenda came over with us as our second chaperone. And the vans were great. They worked all day without an issue. Once I found out where the gas tank was on one of them, I opened the door to buy the gas tank. Never put gas in it before in all the years I've driven those. But so that was really good. And then we went up to the outlets when we got back so the kids could have lunch. We made it back before the end of the 7th period, so we were to the last class of the day. So they had to do the first class and their last class. So it was a nice short trip. It was fun. Cool. Anything else you guys want to say?
That's fun.
You guys have any questions for them or anything?
What's your favorite part of the trip out of the whole thing? What was your favorite part?
Seeing the control room and where they run everything, because they can't, so they hit different buttons to go to certain cameras. And they also have like 3 different cameras from different spots in the world. Like they have a direct one to New York, a direct one to their station that runs everything in Texas, and there's another direct one for somewhere else. But
I found those big like LED screens, they're individual LED panels. I found that pretty interesting.
Like on that picture with the desk, there's 22 different TVs behind it that makes that whole screen where it seems like the whole view of the capital region and stuff. It's not just one big picture. It's 22 different giant screens behind it. So if one goes out, there's a big black square there, so they have to replace that real fast. So it's not just one like projector thing, it's all these different parts. We brought 18 kids over there, so each fan fits 9, so it's just right. So it was great. Any other questions?
Sounds like a great day. Yeah.
It was a real good day. A lot of fun. They said we could come back whenever. The producer gave each kid a card and said, let her know. The news director said also, told Zach and me on the way out, you know, as they get new equipment, they might be looking to get rid of some things. They might donate it. He's like, let us know. We're always looking to get tax right off of them. And I'm like, yeah, keep us informed. Anything you don't need anymore, we'll find a use for it. So that was really good too. So hopefully it'll be great. It was great seeing Zach doing stuff there, a former student here, for Brenda and me. I did a lot of TV stuff and tech stuff when he was here, and then a lot at Westfield too. So seeing him in his element was great too. Because he worked up in the teleprompter guys, and now he directs several of the shows every morning. He gets there at 3 a.m. Get everything ready. It's a long day, but he loves it. It's going really well. It's fun. So kids, tech kids really like it too. From seeing all the behind the scene things, it's really interesting and cool.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Guys.
Pressure's on.
Moving on to our student representative.
For our school this week, the boys and girls basketball teams will attend Western Mass games. The boys will play at Palmer on Thursday, and the girls team will play against Greenfield at home on Thursday. Then also this Friday at the Cove, Lee has a bowling district championship. And then there's also a spring musical coming up soon, The Addams Family, which will be performed on March 6th, 7th, and 8th. And then the student council members started a coat drive and collected coats from the school from the students at the school and brought them to ServiceNet. And then next week is February vacation, which I think we're all pretty excited for. And that's all I have.
Any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Morty.
Thank you.
Is our superintendent's update.
Let's go.
All right. Enrollment as of February 1st, 639 students. You know, we hover right around that 640 mark. We continue to get school choice interest, and I'm not talking about accepting applications now, but already we're receiving inquiries about next year's school choice. That's encouraging for us, and to remind the committee, we will bring to you at our April meeting recommended open seats for next year's school choice lottery. Attendance through last Friday, the 6th, that was 99 days of school. Yesterday was the 100th day. We'll talk about that a little more later. Our numbers have remained pretty consistent. I put for your reference, parenthetically after these percentages and numbers, what the numbers were last month when I presented them, just so that you can see the movement. Not too much movement for us. The chronic absenteeism number for both schools went up considerably. That's illness hitting the schools. So it's not a reflection of necessarily those students who aren't choosing to come to school, but a lot of sickness running through both schools over the last month. But again, in most other areas, we're holding pretty steady. I reminded the finance subcommittee at our meeting earlier about where we are. Our meeting with the town had been pushed off. We were expecting that to happen originally last week. It will now happen next week. So we'll meet on the 17th, and for our March 10th school committee meeting, I will have a much clearer picture for you where we stand with our FY27 budget. But we are holding tight right now at a 4.99% increase for next year. Some dates to remember. Mr. Horty reminded us about February vacation. I will do the same. Our school committee meeting on the 10th. We've got a PD day coming up on March 13th. That's a Friday. A day that will live in infamy for us for a long time. But there is no school for students on that day. The public budget hearing is scheduled for April the 7th. Make sure that we know that this happens annually, that our April meeting is earlier. It's not the first, or excuse me, not the second Tuesday. It's usually the first Tuesday. And then right now, with 3 snow days, our last day of school is June the 17th. So what I'm seeing falling from the sky right now looks like it will not impact school tomorrow. So that's great news. MCAS dates, shared some of these with you previously, but they all live on one slide. So it'll be an easy reference point for families when this slide deck gets populated to the website to see where we are. We've got a lot of testing happening soon, and what we know is that means that classroom teachers at the elementary school and core classroom teachers at the middle and high school are making sure that students are getting regular exposure to released MCAS questions to get them used to the style of question and answering them, and encouraging them to remember that the test still matters. While it's not a graduation requirement, this test still matters for accountability purposes. Speaking of accountability, we have to annually release our report cards. So we will be posting to the district website and send home by the end of the month report cards for each of the schools and the district. So those will come out shortly. Those are hyperlinks to those report cards. So once this is populated, if anyone is interested, you can go to our district or school report cards to see interesting data for some, not interesting for others. It will tell you things like how many of our staff are certified in their content areas that they teach and the like. Student Opportunity Act, the gift that keeps on giving, but not as much as it should. We have to submit annually a report to the state about how we are using the tens of dollars that we get in Student Opportunity Act money. It costs more money and probably salary to prepare the report than what we get in money. But regardless, in March, for the March 10th meeting, I need you to approve the plan. So I will have that for you before the 10th, before the meeting on the 10th, so you can review it and then hopefully approve it so that I can submit it to the state. Tomorrow, I'm not in district. This is a nice share. And almost every year I go to Westfield State for the day to talk to aspiring educators and conduct mock interviews with some students. Don't ask me why I got assigned to the phys ed students tomorrow, but I will be. Thanks to Jen Carlino and Julia Warner for working with me to craft some really interesting questions to pose to those prospective students. But I've been tasked with talking about the importance of cover letters and resumes and then doing the interviews. So it's kind of cool. If there's anything worth reporting back to you, including potential candidates for openings, I'll let you know. And that's the end of my report for this month.
Any questions? Hearing none. All right. Thank you.
We'll roll right into
to LES.
LES, sure thing. So we are in the process right now of having data team meetings and reviewing our middle of year benchmark data. A curriculum subcommittee work with Ms. Kishore to schedule that meeting soon to review those.
We did schedule that.
We did. To give them the information ahead of that meeting is already scheduled. I apologize. But we will we'll be reviewing those data soon. MCAS materials are ordered. Our schedule is set, as I shared with you before. Jen talked earlier during the finance meeting about what WIDA and Access are. I've said it's complete. I think we might have one or two students who remain to be tested, but we're basically done. And then really exciting to be awarded an early literacy grant from the state. We will be giving 80 minutes of one-on-one tutoring to 15 first graders and 11 second graders through a company called On Your Mark. We've been working with them over the last couple of weeks to set the schedule. So students, those identified students who are below or well below benchmark will get 20 minutes a day, 4 days a week for 12 weeks of one-on-one early literacy tutoring. So we're pretty excited about that, and we're hoping to see some real gains. It's part of the Johns Hopkins University study. So we're hoping that this is going to pay dividends for us. We will begin that work on March 2nd, and it will take us right through the first week of June. And then a Spirit Week coming up, speaking of March 2nd, an emphasis annually on Read Across America. So somebody, I'm sure, not it, will be dressed up as the Cat in the Hat. We'll see. I think Mr. Brigetti said he wanted to come up. This week is Kindness Week at the school, and student council and some dedicated staff have really gone above and beyond to emphasize the importance of kindness. And as I mentioned earlier, yesterday was the 100th day of school. Kids and staff alike dressed up to either look like 100 days old, 100 years old, or the number 100. And here you go. You can see some of the various costumes that the students and staff dressed up. It was a pretty exciting day. The kids really took to it, and so did many of the staff. I felt 100 years old, but they had a lot of fun. So,
Questions? Hearing none. On to Lee Middle Times. We're gonna take.
Thank you. Today, a group of 23 sophomores and juniors completed their 3-day Changemakers for Good training. The purpose is to train students to lead initiatives around increasing students' sense of belonging in the school. Through the remainder of this year, and because they're sophomores and juniors, will carry over into next year as well. So they'll run advisory activities and various other things the rest of this year and into the future with their fellow students to help increase that sense of belonging, which is important. Happy to mention that we were granted a $25,000 grant from the state for early college planning. This allows us and our partner, which is Berkshire Community College, to decide if we want to move forward with requesting an early college designation from the state. If we do move forward with that, the designation will be awarded for the start of the 27-28 school year. So this grant covers now through the summer. We have a consultant that we're bringing on board to help us with this. And a lot of it will be paying in the summer stipends to teachers from both here and BCC to kind of plan out what this early college program may look like if we do go for the designation in 27, 28. Kind of exciting. In addition to the trip to WTN in Albany that the Lee Live students went to, other classes recently had trips to the Clark Museum in Williamstown and Gilbert Farms in Lenox. I did want to give a shout out to the Clark because they are one of the museums in the area, several do this, that actually reimburse our transportation costs for that day. So they pay us back for the bus. So that's really cool. We had a full bus of like 35 kids go up to the Clark that day. And it's been, I don't think we've been to the Clark since before COVID. So that was pretty cool experience for them. Our annual Junior Job Shadow Day was held on Groundhog Day last Monday. Just about every junior participated in the event. They'll continue their exploration of careers in April for their annual career fair and mock job interviews, where we bring community members in to interview them as if they were applying for a job in their field that they're interested in. Now that we're several weeks into the new semester, last Friday we resumed our weekly grade and attendance update emails every Friday to parents and guardians and to students. And we hope families find this useful in keeping tabs on student performance for the rest of the school year. Our annual first semester honors breakfast will be held Friday, February 27th, the Friday we return from break. We're looking forward to celebrating our student achievements. We had 132, I believe, is a final number of students who made honors or high honors for first semester. So out of 330, that's a pretty good percentage.
Greg, what are the criteria for those things?
Thank you for putting me on the spot. It is, I can't remember what the exact cutoffs are, but high honors, I believe, is no grade lower than a 90 with a certain average. Honors is no grade lower than an 85 with a certain average. And then we also do an honorable mention as well, although the papers typically don't want to publish the honorable mention. They only publish the honor. I'll send you the actual real criteria, exactly what it is. Lastly, as Sam mentioned earlier, we do have the drama program's production of the Addams Family coming the weekend of March 6th. And on our website and our Facebook page now, you can actually click to buy tickets ahead of time if you would so like to. Please do that. It should be a great production. I know the kids are working hard. Thank you.
Any questions? Hearing none. Thank you. Moving on to special education.
We have been undergoing many interviews. Paula, my secretary, and myself, we just did the numbers. We have had by this Friday before vacation from December 15th, we've had 31 interviews for paraprofessional positions. We've successfully offered position just this week to 3 people. And we've brought on, so we're bringing on 3 new paraprofessionals for the elementary school. We are now focusing hopefully on the middle and high school level. We've been doing them in rounds. So we're doing about 10 interviews a week. At the end of that time, I reach back out to everybody and either offer them a position or ask them if they'd like to be considered in the second round. So they might be followed to the next week. We still have, I think we had 48 applications in the past 3 weeks. We've done a little bit of changes and we've been using Indeed in a different way and it's been successful. So I will give you guys an update of that next time and hopefully I will have no more openings. That would be the goal. I have an update for the special education numbers. I was able to include the preschool numbers. Previously, I wasn't able to find the state average for preschool through 12th grade plus, including the transition age. So it didn't include the preschool numbers. So out of 663 students, which includes our preschool students as well as our out of district students, we have 135 students on IEPs, which does put us a little bit above where we were. We're at 20.4%. There were 4 IEPs that were not signed last time I was here. They are now signed and in effect. The state average for that preschool through 12th grade plus is 21.1. So we're within a point of that, but still approaching it. And the last thing that I have is that Lenox Public Schools, the Special Education Parent Advisory Council, all of the local special education directors were in close contact all of the time, and we try to share events. So the Special Education Parent Advisory Council for Lenox tomorrow night has invited Jessica Drohan, who's a behavior consultant, and she's also an executive functioning coach. She's speaking at Lenox Public Schools at Morris in the library from 5:30 to 6:30. It is open for people to join if they are interested in that. I've worked with her pretty closely. She works with some students that attend here. She also works at St. Mary's as a consultant. And so that is tomorrow night at 5:30 at Morris Elementary School. And that's all I have.
Thank you. Any questions? Hearing none. Moving on to facilities.
Okay, we're still working to resolve the heating issue in the cafeteria in this building. The fuse blows, none of the system drops down to one stage. We replaced the igniters and we've inspected all the wiring for potential shorts. So now we're looking at the hard to access wiring for possible fraying. And Adams Plumbing and CTC are investigating whether there's cross contamination when we drop a stage, but we're having difficulty finding the issue. Fortunately, the baseboard heat and running the fans overnight helped keep the room to around 65 degrees during the last cold snap. And this hopefully it's just going to keep getting warmer. Over the break, yeah. Over the break, several projects were scheduled. We have several projects scheduled. We're replacing the motor in one of the basketball hoops, installing new stage curtains in the auditorium, inspecting and completing minor repairs to the bleachers in this building, and we're performing the core drilling at the tennis courts and completing the existing conditions inspection for the blacktop.
You're gonna core drill in February?
Yes. The machines they have, they said they go down 25 feet. So.
Awesome, yeah. Any questions? No? All right, thank you. Thank you all. Moving on to committee reports. We'll start with the finance subcommittee.
Yeah, thank you. So finance subcommittee met prior to this meeting, and we talked about all the money that we're spending around here. But we talked about our payroll and our accounts payable warrants first. Mr. Jennifer.
So we had 7 accounts payable warrants since our last meeting. The reason for that is there were 4 ADP service fees that we had to catch up on. So our first warrant was for July 14th for $136,226.13. And the top vendors for that warrant are Branches, Dufour, and Gateway. The next warrant is on July 28th for $262,311.17. Top vendors for that warrant are Eversource, LPVAC, and the City of Pittsfield. The next warrant is on October 31st for $1,742.19. That is for an ADP service fee for October. The next warrant is December 5th for $2,465.76, and that is the ADP service fee for November. Next warrant is July 2nd for $1,682.94, and that's the ADP service fee for December. Next is July 30th for $1,652.35, and that's the ADP service fee for January. And lastly, the AP warrant for this week for $146,894.48. And the top vendors for that warrant are Berkshire Gas, Branches, and Dufour. The total for all of these warrants is $552,975.02.
We vote to approve this warrant.
I will entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the accounts payable warrant.
I
No?
wouldn't. do that.
Okay, okay.
You can make a motion, but you can't vote on it.
So then we're gonna make a motion.
Mr. Alden's ready.
All right, I'll make the motion. All right, I make a motion to accept the accounts payable in the total of $552,975.02.
There are seconds.
I second.
Any discussion? Good, yeah, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? And one abstention. Accounts payable passes. On to payroll.
We've had 3 payroll warrants, including the one for this current week. The total for these warrants is $1,111,595.76.
We did vote to approve this warrant.
Anyone like to make a motion? Say a big number.
All right, I make a motion to accept the payroll in the amount of $1,101,595.76.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
I'll abstain.
One abstention. Thank you.
We need to talk about them.
It's here.
Like metric or no?
You don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had some general, just around our meeting, we had some general, budget conversations and I think pretty happy where we are. That's it.
Curriculum Subcommittee.
Sure. So the curriculum subcommittee met last Tuesday and we were discussing the proposed changes to the program of studies for LMHS for the 2026-2027 school year. I will not read all of it, but I'll give you like a brief summary. And then if you have any questions, I'm sure Principal Burgundy or maybe myself can answer them. The first proposed change was to remove the French offerings from the program. Students will be given the opportunity to complete all of the requirements that are necessary. Our enrollment supports this because it really only affects a small handful of students. And I believe there were 2 programs that were identified, online programs, so that all of these students would be able to finish taking their French to meet the requirements for all 3 years. Also phase 2 of the upper class English restructuring, removing English 9A and English 10A. And instead of this model, using the model that we've discussed previously at the middle school level, I believe, with the additional support in ELA, having an additional period for an English lab to better support those student needs. And then there's a reorganization of the digital arts offerings. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we said we took a lot of classes and condensed them into fewer classes, combined things. That was right.
Oh,
yes. I knew that I skipped that. And then there were some additional options for ELA, including a science fiction course, a headlines course, in regards to current events, and a mythology course. Did I miss anything? And the curriculum subcommittee did vote to approve these changes. And we did schedule a meeting on March 3rd to go over that mid-year benchmark. Did I miss anything? Anyone have a question?
Just to make one clarifying comment about the additional English courses. If you remember last year, the committee approved kind of an experiment for the senior English of giving students a menu of options to pick from, semester-long courses instead of a I'll say old-fashioned year-long English 12 course. And at the time we had mentioned that if all went well, we may come back this year to try to expand that to junior year. And that's what we're trying to do here as well. So those courses would be open to juniors and seniors. Although juniors would still take a common second semester course to make sure we're covering those standards that juniors need to cover. And so first semester, they'd have a choice from the elective menu. And then seniors would have a choice for both semesters from the elective.
We will have a motion later on the agenda under new business, so that's not going to fall. Now, any questions for the questions?
Yeah.
I think one thing as a member of that committee I'd like to explore is how these courses are presented to us and the information that's given to us as we're making these decisions. I know we have an upcoming meeting on 3rd, so jot for the agenda, something as a member I would recommend that we add and give some thought to. It might, like, as we get into that conversation, really sort of brainstorming activity, thinking about policy as well, how those two subcommittees might intersect, as we think about bringing new offerings on for our students. Any other comments? Questions? Hearing none. All right, thank you all. We have no old business. Our new business is to approve the proposed program of study for Lee Middle High School that we just
Motion to approve the proposed changes to the program size for school year 26-27.
Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstentions? All right. One order of future business is our next Lee School Committee meeting, currently scheduled for Tuesday, March 10th, 5 p.m. Still work for everyone? Fantastic. And then lastly, adjournment. There a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
There seconds?
I'll second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned at 5:36.